Yes, that's okay. Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, I'm Pauline Maas. I'm a computer science teacher in the Netherlands. I started off, my studies were as a teacher of embroidery and Dutch because I'm from the Netherlands in Europe. But when I finished my education, there was no work. So I switched to ICT, and that was in 1984. So the computers looked very different. The computer was as big as a classroom. And now they are like this small. That was the same. So there were not a lot of females, and I worked in ICT for 25 years. And then I thought, if I want to have more female colleagues, I have to change to education. So I started teaching again, and I do that 2 days a week. And the other days I do other things, writing books about coding for children, microbit things, microbit,
yeah,
Microsoft expert things like you, eh? MIE.
Yeah, it's so interesting that you started your career as a teacher, and now you have been dealing multiple things like coding and some other things, so which are most needed for the present youth of 21st century. So would you mind telling something about your projects related to the robotics?
I like robots. I like computers a lot. So everything what is close to computers, like robots or drones or artificial intelligence, I like a lot. And I'm always on top of new things, new interesting things. And I explain that to my students, and we try doing that together. And I really love the microbit. So I think I told you that I showed you already. The microbit is this small mini computer, which you can code, very simple, but you can really make things. So that's what I think is very interesting. So usually I do like a combination. And because I'm an art teacher, it gives always like a very strange for technical people, like, what did she make now? Yeah. For instance, this one, yeah. You know, this one is can go like, it can, and arms are moving, can move. And because in here are servo motors and the microbit. So he is moving by himself. So let's see if it's still working. The batteries are still there. So that's kind of funny things I make, yeah?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And I think you reacted on this one I made, yeah? This one is a small robot. It got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in here, there must be a microbit, and then it can walk. And it makes a lot of sounds. But it is, I said, it's very plastic. So when it's on the floor, it's broken. So it's not such a good thing. So I'm not so happy with it, but it looks funny. It looks funny. So that's important. Yeah. And for instance, I made this one. Yeah, you see? Yeah, so also it looks funny, yeah. So in here are servo motors, and the microbit has to be in here. So his eyes can roll. It can be so you, and also I say that the wenkbrauwen, I say that the brows, you can move the brows too, so he can look surprised or funny or sad, or so you can programming to have emotions. So, and it is very glittery, you see.
So looking really amazing, masterpiece.
It's now a lot messier with glitters, but you know. So that's kind of things that I like to do. And yeah, here one is something also I made. It is a famous artist, Frida Kahlo. She's one of the first women who made art herself and sold it. So she became really rich from her art. And I put LED lights in here. So I embroidered that. And also on here. So when I attach some microbit to it, all the LED lights will light up. So that's what I like to make a lot. You can see on the back that I embroidered everything. Yeah. So, but you wanted to talk about robots, didn't you?
Yeah. So
does one of your students have a question, or shall
shall
I do a presentation?
Yes, definitely. And if you want to present, you can present, and later my students will ask you some questions. So meanwhile, I allow you to share your screen. Yes, you can.
I can share.
Screen. You can share your screen.
Wait, I have to. Here it is. Yeah, can you see?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. Always have to be. So I hope. Yes, this will work. Can you see the video? Well, there were just some funny videos of robots, because if you code a robot, it's really difficult to let him walk or do things that we normally very easily do, especially as robots. I think everybody wants them to walk like humans, and that's really difficult and really hard to do. So they made a lot of, this is an old movie, but they made a lot of progress already, but still it is really difficult because you have to take care of a lot of things to program a robot. Also make him walk, make him steady walk. You need a lot of motors and also a lot of power, like energy. So, and this is the first robot. It's from Leonardo da Vinci, and it is in 1495. So in the 15th century. This one is the first robot who could move, but not really move. But you can see that the mechanics will make him that he can turn his hand. So this is really known as the first robot ever. And here in 1921, the first time there was a robot in a play. And it was called Rur, R-U-R. Yeah. So the robot, the name was Rur, but that was the first time they talked about robots in the play. And the robot was in the play, a little bit moving and sitting down. But in 1961, there was this first industrial robot, because the robots are very often used in the industry for making cars or making really mechanical things. So then that is the time the robots really starting to be inventing. And these are humanoid robots. So they look like humans, you see? So this is the real person and this is her robot. So there are only, this one picture was in 2014. And it is the first, those are very expensive. There are not a lot of those robots. I think you have a question, Sriti. Can you tell me?
No, no, Palani, you please go ahead and explain. She will ask little later.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah. And now you have the really tiny robots. It's called the nano robots. And they are used a lot in the medical industry, in the medical. So even you can, when they put it in a pill, medicine. So you eat it up, and then the robot will have a small camera in here, and then you can see what they can see inside you, what is there. And of course, the small camera is coming out when you go to the toilet. So this is really important, that such a small things you can just do by eating, so that you don't need an operation or something to put in. You can just eat it, and then it is okay. So even you have like bandages to put on your arm or something else, and then they can see your temperature or something else, or they can electronics in there, and they can be in contact with the hospital or your doctor. So that's a new things. So I made like a timeline for the robots. I gave it already to Hari Krishna. So you can see really the timeline of all the robots are just different kind of robots. So it started off with the first robot, and it ends now, I think in 2020, something like that. So you can see pictures of it with some information behind it. It's in Dutch, but you can see the pictures. So there are three kinds of robots. You have the industrial robots. Those are the main robots are being used everywhere. And they only are made for one purpose, do one thing. In a factory usually. Yeah. Then you have the service robots. I have a picture of that. So you have more and more service robots are used in hospitals to bring you food or to lift you up, so they can clean the bed or something else. And then you have the artificial intelligence robot. They can think by themselves. So they are really advanced robots. Now, here, this is our industrial robots. They use them a lot in the auto industry or in the logistics, when DHL, they deliver parcels. The robots read what's on the address, and then they put it in the right lane, so that will go away. Yeah. In Holland, a lot of industrial robots are being used by farmers. You have the robots who milk the cows. You have the robots who plant the seeds. You have the robots who get the things out of the field. You have like small drones, very small drones. They pick the ripe strawberries. So they don't use like the men don't use it anymore, and the drones will only pick those strawberries who are ready to go. And I even saw there were strawberries who picked out the moths. I say that the people, the small insect who eat the strawberries, what you don't like. So there are drones who pick those insects, and they kill those insects. So you have like really beautiful strawberries or tomatoes or anything else. Those are service robots. This is not very common, but you see it more and more here in the Netherlands. Here in my city even, we have like a sushi bar, and there are robots who bring the sushi to your table. Yeah, only so you have to pick it up still from the tray, but it goes like a small driving around, and you can pick it up. What do I have more here? And you even have like a robot for the McDonald's, but that is a joke, because it's not true. They always use real people in there. Artificial intelligence robots, those are robots who can think by themselves. So when you start him up and it is being programmed, he can learn. The longer he is up and running, he can learn more and more. So he can ask real questions and give answers. He can look at you and he can recognize you. So an artificial intelligence robot, he will learn. And they try to give them like a human-like look. But you also can see that it is really not a human. Here are also AI robots. Here you can see this is the real person and this is his robot. And this is the same. So you really, they can kind of talk and they can move. And this is, I cannot remember his name anymore, but this Japanese guy, he's the first who really did those kind of, make those kind of robots. He even made his own daughter into a robot. When his daughter saw herself like a robot, she started crying. There's a YouTube movie from that. Here you can see those kind of bandage, I say, you can put on your arm, and that's also that is in contact with your doctor or the hospital, who can notice if you need something else or other medicine, or how do you and how you are. So that's very experimental, because I don't like it so much. So where is the line? When when do you become a robot? Because if you have like a pacemaker, are you then a robot, or are you still a human? So if you have a pacemaker and maybe like a robotic leg because you lost a leg, so when do you become a robot? Yeah, you have to laugh about it, but that's I think that is a funny question. Yeah, this is what we do a lot. But I do a lot with my students. We just here to the left, we make like a sandwich. We describe how do you make a sandwich, and then in the back I will be the robot. Here is my friend, and then the student described get the knife, open the bag of sandwiches, put it on a. So very often it goes wrong because you cannot you cannot open the bread if you have two things in your hand. So you have to be really careful describing what you do at what time. And I have one more funny video from this nice woman. She made a breakfast machine. She is called Simone Geertz, and she made all those silly robots by dissolving kind of things, and then she make it together. Also, she made like a waking up system with a hand turning around above her head. She made like a system to make her lips red. So she made funny. She is always making funny robots. It never works. Yeah. So that is. Stop the sharing. That was my presentation. So I hope you have some questions for me.
Wow, that's really a great presentation regarding the robotics. I think so many interesting facts I came to know. Maybe my students also might take the robotics as a career option, because
I hope so. Yeah.
In this 21st century, I think everywhere and in every field, I think people are using the robotics, as you have shown many videos. In fact,
there are many different
I still need that there is a lot more research needs to be done in the robotics. I think still in many fields we need to engage the robotics in a much effective way.
Yeah, but in the Netherlands, it's more and more common. Like my daughter, she has like a robot who is vacuuming her house every day, and that's controlled by the Google Home. So, and when they leave the house in the morning, when they go working, the robot starts cleaning, not cleaning, but just vacuuming. So we see a lot of houses here doing the grass by robots. Yeah, you see a small robot do the grass outside in the garden. Yeah.
So that
we
means
still like to do it.
Dutch people are using the robotic technology in a much effective way than anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but it's not just, I think, well, that's getting very slowly integrated in the house.
Yeah. So before I allow my students to ask you some questions, I have a question for you. Last time I happened to see a pet cat in your room. pet cat. Is it still there?
No, I'm
Oh.
sorry, she died. Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
No. It is good. She became 18, 18, so almost 20 years, and she had a very happy life. But she was really, yeah. More people ask because she was always there. You know, when I was on the phone, when I was on this one, she always came looking. She was curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to know that.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And, yeah.
No,
So,
it's
yeah,
okay.
who is
She
going
was
to ask the
part.
first question? Yes.
Yes, who will start?
Yeah, who is going to ask the first question?
Sir, can I?
Yes, Tedipia, go ahead.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Telitya. I'm studying 6th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Can you ask again, please, very slowly? Yeah.
Tedipia, you asked. Yes.
Could you please show your robot?
This one here, I have a robot here. You see, this one is a small robot I have, and that is need to be like a microbit in here. So I have like a robot in here. I will get another one. I have a robot here. It can walk. It can walk like this. You see, it has to be a microbit also in here. So I have a lot of small robots who can walk or dance or talk. And I always make them together, put them together, you know, or I make them from carton or anything else. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Next, over to Shruti.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am. Thank you
Hello.
for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. Myself, Shruti, a 7th grade student. I feel great to interact with you. May I pose you a question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
What made you to design robots?
Because I think they're funny and I don't want people to be afraid of robots. So I always make them a little bit funny and not frightening. So that's why I always like to make them. And I'm just interested that it is, because I found out it is more difficult than I had expected always. And I like that challenge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very good. Good question.
Nandini, over to you.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am. This is Nandini, a 7th grader.
Hello.
My hobbies are reading books and playing games. Would you allow me to ask a question?
Yes, please.
How is robotic technology being used in your country?
We use robots, like I said, it starts to be using just in the normal houses with the robot who do the vacuum cleaning or do the grass. And a lot of farmers in the Netherlands use robots. We have like a milking cow robot who milks the cows automatically, or check if the field, the things on the field are ready to be harvested. So we have a lot of robots, and sometimes in like a restaurant we do things. So that's starting very quickly now, but it will still have a long way to go. Yeah. And how is that in India? Are there many robots in India?
Yeah, robotic technology has entered India, but not as effective as you or people using in your country. So, Palani, I think you have been, you have been to the other countries as well. So you might, I think you have been to the other countries as well. So when you visit other countries, the kind of robotic technology they are using in their countries. So back home, your people are so revolutionized, and you have been doing great things in robotic technology, in using the robotics in almost now every field. So
yeah,
do you think that your country people are advancing in terms of robotic technology?
No.
Is there any other country which is much more advanced in robotic field?
Because like I think in the Western countries, more people use the robots, so the prices go down. So it's easier to buy them. And then also the technology that people are trying to invent new things on robots is getting more accessible. So that is a kind of, when nobody is using it, it's very expensive. Now more and more are using robots. So it's getting reasonable to buy robots or use them, small robots, because this, how you say it, this robot who vacuum your house is only doing that. You know, he's not really the robot who's doing everything. He's only vacuuming your house. Yeah.
Any more questions, students? Do you have any more questions?
Can I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Lohita Girija. I am in 8th grade. I am 14 years old. I am studying at ZPHS School, Ailavaram. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Why are the most of the youth in the Netherlands good at math and science?
We do a lot on math and science, but I don't think we are the best in Europe. Like Sweden is much better in math and science, and Norway than the Netherlands. So we still have a way to go, I think. Yeah. So they are better in it. But in the Netherlands, we are very creative. We think outside the box very often. And we like to, like to set up businesses. So we want to think how we can sell products and make products. So that's make us different, I guess. Yeah.
So that must be the main reason, I think, because of the Dutch colonies all over the world.
Yeah, there are a lot of Dutch people everywhere, and we are a very small country. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I understood.
Yeah.
So any more questions? Any more questions? So, okay, Poloni, would you mind explaining about the Dutch education system? Because you have just admitted the fact that your kids, especially the students, are good at maths and science, because these are the two core subjects needed to excel in any field. So,
Yeah.
what's the education like in your country, and is there any specific focus on these core subjects like maths and science?
We started school when the children have to go to school when they are 4 years old. They go to school when they are 4 years, and they all go to the same school. And when they are 12, they have like exams, and then that is a very crucial exam, because if you score very good in that exam, you go to a higher education and you can go to university. If you don't score very good on that exam, there still are chances to go and study and have a good job, but you cannot go to university. So that is a very stressful period for students when they are only 11 years old. Yeah. And of course, parents are always, stressed out too, to make them perform very good. So then you go to school till you're 18. Then you do this big exam we have, because we have like 4 different kind of levels from low till university level. It's a very different kind of schools, different kind of children go to those schools. And then when you're 17 or 18, you finish your exams, and then you go working, or you go to university or extra education. So that is a part of it.
So I have one more question. So on completion of schooling, what do the most of the Dutch people, I mean the students, would like to aspire? So do they have any special ambitions to achieve in their life?
We usually educate the people like, you have to study what you really like. Not so much where you can earn the best money or the best jobs. No, you have to study what you really like, because you have to do that your whole life. So I think that is important. And for us, we have 4 children, And 2 children, they started their studies and they finished it in one way, but the other 2, they are both changed 3 times for their studies till they found the study they wanted to do. Yeah. And that's not uncommon, that's happening more. Yeah, so if you pick and it's not the one you like, then you change to what you read, because it's something you have to become, and then you have to do that the rest of your life. So if you do that and you don't like it, you will be very unhappy. So we think that is very important too. So we have a lot of people who are coach, like a coach, a walking coach, an eating coach, leisure coach, or anything. So people making fun of that because it's not really a job. Everybody can become a coach.
So that's so interesting. So in addition to the core subjects, what do the students learn other than the core subjects? Do they have any electives like in American system? I think besides the core subjects, they have electives like music class and agricultural class, and there are many other subjects. They have to.
We have,
Yeah,
I think like when on primary school, so up till 12, you have like sports, swimming, not dancing, but Dutch, English already. When you start 10, you have English already in your school. Also learn about history and about the world. So, and then when you go to secondary school, you also will have French and German and sometimes Spanish or Chinese. So if you really like it, and of course, like we have art and gymnastics. In our school is even swimming. So it's all, and I teach them ICT and that we have more cooking. We teach them cooking. So many subjects. Yeah, you can choose.
Basically, the Dutch people are so creative and innovative. So that's why they are advancing in every field, not just in robotics, and everywhere they are organizing the best, and they are taking everything the best out of every field. So I probably feel that.
I don't know, but we think it's important that they do the things they really like to do, because if you do what you really like, you'll be much better in there than if you're doing what you don't like, because then you'll. But if you really do what you like, then you are becoming good at it. So that's why I like to make robots and do the microbit, because that's what I really like to do. Then people say, oh, you start glowing and you can talk and you laugh, and then you really like it. Then that's true. Yeah. So because I'm originally also like a Dutch teacher, but if they ask me to give Dutch lessons, I'm not good at it.
So Palani, I must say that the robotic technology definitely it creates a lot of curiosity and interest among the young minds. So if you have the robots with you, and if you just show them, it definitely stimulates a lot of interest among the young minds. If you see that all the minutes when you are presenting, you're sharing about the robotics, you can see the pin drop silence and the kind of curiosity my students paid to the this particular video. That means not just my students, and everywhere in the world. I think the artificial intelligence is one of the innovative subjects that is. I think it has a great future, and everybody can take it as a challenge, and they can do some wonders in this particular field.
Yeah.
So
I can give you also one other thing. One thing really nice to do with your students. It is like artificial intelligence yourself. Yeah. Where are you? You're here. Zoom. And do I have a chat? Yes. So the students, they can try this at home. You can do it. You can try it too. It's called the teachable machines. And you can do artificial intelligence yourself. It is a small video. So he can make a recognition if you are for the camera, or maybe your brother or sister is for the camera, or your cat is for the camera. I did it with my cat, you know, see. And then the computer is saying it's a cat, it is a robot. It's a cat, it is a robot. So maybe if you're not having time tomorrow, because it's late, quite late with you already, but here it's just before 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And also what is a nice website too, it's also having artificial intelligence in there. It's called Auto Draw.
Mhm.
Okay, have you seen that already? Yeah.
So yeah. So
Auto-draw.
I can do one thing, Palone. I think maybe next session, I think I would like to organize one more session very soon. In the session, I think what we need actually with the low cost material, can my students design a robot, because they feel that they have created one robot with their intelligence. They feel like that.
Yeah.
So is it possible in the near future, maybe involving my students to design a small robot with low cost material available in India?
Yeah, I think so. Also, we can make like a robot in Scratch. Have you used Scratch already? You know, so they can code a robot who can do different kind of things, or where you can order a pizza or something else. You can use a robot to do that, like when you phone. So you can simulate that in Scratch, which is fun too, I guess. Okay. But to make really a robot, you need motors too, to do it. So, or you need a LED light or something else, but you need something. Yes. You can make it with carton, but you want it to move, or you need, so I have to think about that, how you can do that, because you still have something that you want to move, like the head is turning, and then you need a servo motor and something else. So I don't know if you have it or your students have those kind of things. Yeah.
Time is almost up, Palone. I think I even didn't imagine that the time has come to an end, because the value of your class is that much valuable. In fact, we didn't even notice the time. Thank you so much for your time. I will very soon organize